Hello viewers and welcome to Teach Me How to Cook. I am Diana Master and today I am making Coke chicken. Yes, you're probably wondering, Coke chicken, what is that? Well, it's just the way it sounds. We're going to be using Coke to make a sweet and sticky recipe. So I will be showing you all the ingredients that we need. This recipe is my mom's recipe, and when she left the country I said to her, please send me that recipe, because you know that's the thing when you're so used to people. Viewers, so there we have our chicken. So what I am just going to do is I am going to cut it up. I do not like the skin. I know chicken skin has its benefits, you know, with the collagen and all of that, but for this recipe I'm going to do without the skin. If you can use breast fillets. Those also work perfectly well, because what we just need is to make it sort of like kind of like a stir fry, but not really a stir fry. So as you can see, I just have some big pieces of chicken here that I am going to use. I'm just going to cut that up so that we have the meaty. I like the fleshy chicken, because also when it's time for us to cook it, it means the cooking time is significantly less. So you can still keep these as well, the other bigger parts. Do you see? There is my chicken breast. I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this all the time when I buy chicken. I must always look for the pack that has the most breasts. And you're probably wondering, oh, but Dana, why don't you just get the chicken breast fillets? Because they're expensive, okay? So sometimes if you're lucky, you'll find the mixed portions. You find that they come with a lot of breast pieces. Let me rephrase. Allow me to rephrase. Breast pieces. So we are just going to cut that up. Okay, so as you can see, we just have some fillets. And I'm just going to cut this up some more. Cut it up, cut it up. Be careful not to slice your fingers off. Okay, I'm actually not going to use all of this chicken. So you see some of the back pieces as well. They are quite meaty and they do come with a lot of meat. So you can use that. I'm not going to use too much of the chicken. Okay. Okay, so now that we have our chicken, you see some more skin. I don't like the skin. I do not like the skin. I think maybe because every time that I then start cooking, the skin just kind of, it's just there hanging very awkwardly and very weirdly. All right, so now we have cut up our chicken slices. I'm not going to use any more. We've cut up our chicken slices. So now we are going to get into the next step, which is basically frying everything. When I tell you this recipe is nice and quick, I mean it, guys. I absolutely mean it. So I am just going to transfer my chicken over to this dish, wash my board so we avoid cross-contamination, wash my board, and then I come back and then I dice up the onions and of course the pepper. Stick around. Okay, welcome back viewers. So now I've cleaned my board, I've cleaned my knife, so nobody come for me. So now we are going to cut up our onion. I like to do it in rings instead of just, I don't know if you can see. I'm becoming a master chef, get it? Because my name is Diana Master. I know, that joke, but hopefully you laughed. But okay. So now that we've cut up our onion into some nice rings. Again, I'm an African woman. I don't really cook with measurements or directions or anything like that. I kind of just wing it and use eye measurement, you know, Want to wash my pepper. I actually want to know, which pepper do you guys prefer? I think I prefer the green pepper more. And there's actually a better way to cut this, but for the sake of time and because I have you guys seeing everything that I'm doing and not a close-up, I am just gonna cut it just normally. So of course, we take out our seeds, take those out, just wash it some more to make sure we get all the seeds out. I don't like the seeds, okay? And then we just get to, okay, so this knife is not too sharp. Okay, this one is better. I don't know if you can hear that. It's much sharper. Okay. So also, this is in rings, okay? I think we do need just a tad bit more pepper because we do have quite a bit of chicken. And so we want it to be as yummy and scrumdiddlyumptious as possible. Okay. So again, take out the seeds there. Okay. I think we are done. I am just gonna cut up some more onion. Take off some skin. Did you know that for the onion to not make you cry, what you just need to do is run it through hot water before you start cutting it? But I'm a pro, so I don't cry. Onions don't make me cry. Anyway, so now we have our pepper, we have our onion, and of course our crushed garlic. So now we're going to get into the next step, which is basically stirring up everything and making a yummy, delicious Coke stir fry or Coke chicken. I'll be right back with more of the instructions. Stick around. Alrighty, viewers. So what we are going to do is to just put some oil. We do need to heat that up a little bit. Okay, because we are going to stir fry. So I am using this big pan. Usually I do prefer to use a saucepan because that makes it much easier, because we are going to have the stew, so to speak. We are going to have the stew. So right now my stove is on 6, just so that the oil heats up a tad bit faster for the sake of time. But as soon as the oil has heated up, then I am going to reduce the heat and I'm going to start by frying my onions. All right, so our oil is nice and hot, so I am just going to bring down that heat, put that to the side, because we don't want a whole tsunami in here. I don't know if you'd call that a tsunami, but you know what I'm referring to. You know when you throw in the onions and the meat and everything just sizzles up real bad? We don't want that. So I am going to go grab my onions and, of course, my pepper. Ooh, look at that. Scrumdiddlyumptious. So I am just going to throw this in there, and then we are going to start frying. Okay, so now we are just going to fry that up. Fry it. I am going to break up that onion. And some of the pepper. And it's smelling so nice and fragrant in here because of the pepper and the onion. So we don't want to burn this, which is why I have reduced the heat. It's now on 3. I think I'm just going to put it up a tiny bit, just to 4. Okay, because we don't want to burn the onions and the pepper. We want to fry them so that they're good and soft enough to eat. We don't want to take out the flavor, okay? So now I'm going to grab some salt and I'm going to grab my crushed garlic. Okay, so since that is cooking nicely, I'm going to add our chicken. And then we are going to add some salt and we are going to fry that. Okay, so now that everything is in there, I do apologize, I don't have a wooden spoon. Add some salt in there. So there we are. I'm gonna let that cook a tiny bit more. And then we're gonna add our garlic, our soy sauce, our Worcestershire sauce. And that is basically our cooked chicken. So while that is happening, I am going to start preparing the pasta because this meal I feel goes better with pasta. But if you want to have it with jasmine rice or basmati rice, that actually works pretty well. You can serve this on a bed of rice or you can serve it with some spaghetti or macaroni, which is what I am going to be doing today. Okay, so we're just going to boil our water and then we get started on our pasta. Okay, so while our chicken is still cooking, there's a bit of water in there, so I'm just going to wait for that to drain, but I am going to start on my macaroni. So I have boiled some water. There it is, boiling right now. And then as soon as that is done, I am going to transfer it to the pot. Let it heat up a little more on the pot. Okay. We can just turn this off because it is going to finish heating up. On the stove. Okay, so I am going to let that sit there for a little bit while our chicken is cooking. I am going to salt my water. And we're just going to close that, let it boil. Meanwhile, there's our chicken. The water is draining, so now you can hear the sizzle again because it is going to start frying. I know right now it doesn't look like much, guys. It's very plain, very bland, and you're probably wondering, ew, where are any of the spices? Well, there are no spices. That's a good thing about this. We are going to get our spices from our Worcestershire sauce, right? Okay, so there it is. So you can see it's still pink here. So that means it's not fully done yet. We don't want to get any food poisoning, right? So I am just gonna flip this over, flip it over, cover it, just so it cooks a bit more, okay? While we wait for our water to boil. Okay, let's take a look at our chicken. Sizzling nicely there. Fry it up a bit more. Now comes the interesting parts, okay? So now we're going to add some garlic. I like me some garlic. That was about half a teaspoon. I might just add a bit more garlic. We'll see. Okay. So now that it's frying, we'll let the garlic cook just a bit more. I think I am going to add a little bit more garlic in there. And fry it some more. Now our onions and our pepper are cooked. Okay, now we're going to add our Worcestershire sauce and then of course our Coke. Okay, so while that is happening, I am going to add some Worcestershire sauce or soy sauce if you want. My favorite one is the Vital one, which is the honey one, the honey soy sauce. I think it's honey and ginger, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so now the Worcestershire sauce is going to add that color that we wanted. Now, if you don't have soy sauce, do not worry about it because there's a good alternative. And the alternative is that you use a stock cube with a little bit of vinegar. You heat that up in the microwave, and then you add just a tiny bit of sugar, and you have homemade soy sauce. Yes. Okay, I think I'm going to add just a bit more Worcestershire sauce. You see, now we're getting that color that we want, that beautiful color that we want. Okay. And then we are going to add our Coke. Okay, look at that. Now we have that color going. So now we are going to add our Coke. Add our Coke. This is a 600 milliliter bottle. Gonna soak our chicken in that. We're not going to use the full bottle. Okay. We are going to bring down our heat. So it does need to actually, my mom would be so disappointed. She did say you put the heat up first for a little bit. Let it soak, soak, soak. We are going to cover that. Our water for our pasta. There it is, almost boiled. Okay. So now let's just close everything up. Because you know how I am about a clean kitchen. So while we wait for our water to boil, that is that. Our Coke is cooking. Okay, viewers. So there is our Coke simmering. So now what we are going to do is bring down the heat. I am going to put it, I think, on 3. Yes, so that it really soaks in all of that juicy goodness. Okay, there's our water for our pasta. It's nice and boiled. Nice and boiled. Who says that? My goodness, guys. Okay, I'm gonna add some. These are elbows. Those are the ones that we have on hand. My personal favorite are shells. I don't know. I like shells. What do you guys like? I prefer shells, and I prefer. Yeah, and the screws. Yeah, shells and screws. I think those are my favorite. So some more elbows there. Gonna stir that up. Oh, it's actually a mix. I didn't realize that in the pack. It's a mix of elbows and shells. Okay, cool. So while that is done, we are gonna close this up. And then of course, there's our chicken simmering, taking in all of that juicy goodness. You are gonna see right now, it does look very watery. It is supposed to look like this. My mom approves, guys, don't worry, okay? So it is still gonna look very watery, but the longer it cooks, the stickier and thicker the sauce is gonna get. So I'm just gonna let that sit. And of course, our macaroni is cooking. And we will come back and check up on this later while I clean the kitchen. Okay, so now our macaroni is done. So I am going to take it over to the colander and then we are going to rinse that out. Just an update on our Coke chicken. Can you see now that it's becoming nice and sticky? It's not as runny anymore. So I am going to bring that down a bit more. I will put it down to 3. Yes. And then we just let it simmer and cook a bit more, because what you don't want is for the juice to completely, the sauce rather, to completely run out. Okay, so I'm going to take this over and rinse it over in my colander. So we'll use hot water to rinse out the extra starch. The reason I'm using hot water is because I still want our pasta or our macaroni to still be hot, right, when we eat it, okay? So just rinse all of that starch out until the water is coming out nice and clean. Okay, so we rinse that out, rinse it out, rinse it out. Okay, I'm going to close the water, take it back to our Coke chicken. If you feel, look at that sticky goodness, look at that. Ooh, you see? If you, however, feel as though there's too little sauce, you can always add a bit more Coke, and then we let it simmer a bit more, okay? So there we go. We will just close that up, let it simmer a bit more, and then pretty soon we'll be ready to eat. So there's our macaroni, nice and clean. So here's another tip. If you don't want your macaroni to get all clumped up, if you're not going to serve it now, you can drizzle a bit of olive oil. I don't have olive oil, so we are going to use just a tiny bit of sunflower oil. Shake that up. That's so that when we do serve the macaroni, it's not clumped up. It's still nice. And you know, it's doing this thing, this jiggly thing, where it's not just all together at once, because I don't like clumped up macaroni. So it is going to still be like this when we do serve it up, because we are still just waiting for our cooked chicken. Take it back to the pot. Okay. And then we are just going to cover that up while we wait for our cooked chicken. Okie dokes. So now our chicken is done, because this is the consistency we want for the sauce. We don't want it to be too runny. We don't want it to be too creamy or too watery or too thick. So just like that, it is done, and you can feel free to serve it up with some salad, either green salad or garden salad or some coleslaw, whatever salad you prefer. I think it just adds a little bit of, you know, pizzazz. Okay, so now that this is done, I am going to dish it up, and then I'm going to have somebody that you remember from another episode do a taste test of my mom's cooked chicken. I can't take credit, it's my mom's cooked chicken. Welcome back, viewers. So now that our cooked chicken is done and our macaroni is done, it is time for us to serve up some of that yummy goodness. Okay, so I don't actually have a stand to place my hot pot, but it's fine. See what I was saying about the macaroni still being nice and runny or not clumped up. I don't know what you call this. Okay, so I'm gonna dish that up. Dish some more here. Listen, I'm not a chef, okay? So don't come at me for my presentation skills, okay? What matters is we're eating good food. That's all that matters. All these things of garnishing and whatnot, only if I'm in the mood. But you know, sometimes you're just hungry and you just want to go, you just want to eat and be done with it. That's me right now. And there is our cooked chicken. Ooh, yum. Okay. It's only fair that each plate has a big piece. You see what I'm saying about presentation? Oh, guys. I'll clean that up. I will, I promise. Pinky promise. My mouth is actually watering. If you could smell this right now, it smells so good. I kid you not, it smells so good. Let's get some of the onion and of course the pepper. Okay, so there we go. I am going to clean up this one plate just a bit more so it doesn't look too messy. It doesn't look like there was no love that went to it. There was a lot of love that went into it, guys. Price is nothing.
Is it only a plain chicken?
It's literally just plain chicken with Worcestershire sauce and Coke and Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's why the chicken is very like sweet and sour. I thought you were putting a little bit of chutney.
It's literally just Worcestershire sauce, garlic, pepper, onion, and Coca-Cola.
Oh wow, it's very nice also and very soft.
Very soft and delicious. Yes. I know people are very skeptical, like Coke in chicken, but it works. Chef approves. Do you approve?
Yes, I approve. It's very nice.
Okay. And if you want, we do have some green salad. We made this earlier off camera, just to add a bit more color to our plates. Would you like some?
Yes.
Okay, let's give you some garden salad.
Come.
Okay. Some more here. And then we are just gonna add some dressing.
Yes.
Let's add some our vinaigrette dressing from last time. Would you want to?
Yes, I want.
Okay, and just like that, viewers, there is your quick, simple meal. Doesn't even require a lot of ingredients. Just very simple, very basic, and you have such a good, delicious meal on hand. All right, and this is it for this episode of Teach Me How to Cook. We made our Coke chicken, and again, very simple, very easy, quick and easy to make, and it's delicious, isn't it?
Yeah. It's even my first time to taste green salad with banana.
How is that?
It's very nice.
Is it? Okay,
Yes.
okay. I just found it in the fridge, to be honest. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining us for this week's episode of Teach Me How to Cook. We'll be back again as we make some
Banana cake plate.
oh, some dessert. It's gonna be
Yes.
yummy, yummy, yummy. If you see us fat, mind your business, okay? We're eating good food here. But until next time, guys, it's goodbye.
Okay, bye. Thank you, Diana, for
Thank
your
you.